Nickelbacks, yeah. I already saw someone on Twitter did what's the lead singer of Nickelback's name? Chris Hansen? Is that no? That's it. Okay, so I've already seen some gifs on that piece. So we're excited. I'm excited to be the Nickelbacks coach here at SMU and recruiting coordinator.
Are you a Nickelback fan?
I definitely was. I think I went to a Nickelback concert in Charleston, West Virginia, where I'm from. Circa, it had to be 2002 or 3. And I wouldn't say it was one of the best nights of my life, but it was certainly up there. My first concert was 98 Degrees. And so we're talking just classics, Matchbox 20 in Morgantown. And so when a musical act came to West Virginia, and specifically Charleston, West Virginia, you needed to go because there was not much else happening there. So we went to Britney Spears, Nickelback, Matchbox 20. Like I said, we hit the gamut. So, yeah. But no, not today am I a fan of Nickelback. That needs to be out there as well. That needs to be out there.
You're a fan of Nickelbacks?
Nickelbacks, yeah. So still learning Coach Simons' system in terms of what that means personnel-wise. I can tell you I don't have a flood of Nickelbacks that I'm responsible for right now. We got to get on the turf, get on the grass with those guys and see who's a fit for that role. I know that it's going to be a situation where they're going to be asked to do some jobs that not a guy like me can't do, an unathletic guy. So we're going to have to ask a lot of that person, whoever that becomes.
What are some of those traits or roles that those guys are going to have to fill once you kind of identify some dudes who can't put it?
Sure, yeah. No, it's been the last 2 days getting acquainted or familiarized with the beginnings of what Scott wants to do on defense. I think they're going to just have to be able to mix it up in the run while also asked to do more than a Mike linebacker in coverage. So,
how critical is that position? I feel like as offenses have evolved, that's become such a valuable position, and in a lot of defenses a big time playmaker. How much have you seen that hybrid safety nickel guy just become valuable in modern college defense?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I know in the past 5 years with Rhett, we've really tried to see who's the alley player for opposing defenses. Is he a slug? Is he a guy we could take advantage of? And so as offenses have spread out and the tight end has become a more athletic guy in the pass game, that position has become so vital. I mean, we saw it really the Seattle Seahawks and the Legion of Boom. That was kind of the beginning of that hybrid system where those guys were not just run stoppers, but needed to be a dynamic guy. So I think it's, as offenses evolve, that's probably the one position where you can see on the field having evolved with it the most, in my opinion.
Along those lines, to have 3 defensive backs and position coaches is not something you see a lot. Is that really a testament to where football has gone, that it's important to differentiate those?
Yeah, sure. And speaking to that, Chris, I think it's a situation where when I was being hired by Coach Lashley, where did I fit on the defensive side of the ball? And with what Scott does, I think it was a combination of those two things coming together. And then just having the experience that Coach Hundley and Coach Niver are going to bring to help me, specifically my first year back on defense, it goes a little bit hand in hand with where the game's gone and then where we were at systematically.
I asked Johnny, if there were ever any points where you thought about, maybe taking another offer and kind of leaving under the wing of Rhett. Obviously, you've also followed Rhett for a while.
Right.
First off, how did you link up with him originally? Was it UConn? And then ultimately, did you have other opportunities that you maybe had to say, I kind of want to stick here with Rhett?
Yeah, sure. It's a funny background. I was on the 2016 staff of Bob Diaco. I just make sure my years are right there. Coach Diaco's last staff at Connecticut. I was a GA there. I got there in June and worked that year. Unfortunately, that staff was let go. It ended up being a fortunate thing in my profession, my career, personally. But Coach Diaco's staff got let go. I was a graduate assistant there. Randy Edsel got hired. Rhett Lashley was hired as offensive coordinator. Rhett was hired as OC. And for 2 weeks, I was in flux whether I had a job. So it was one of those things where I was the only GA left, and it was recruiting weekends, official visits, and I just hustled, and the work ethic proved through, and about halfway through spring ball, Rhett, it was just me, him, and Coach Brewer in the offensive staff room, let me know that I was going to have the opportunity to stay there at UConn. And then to your second question, Joe, I did leave Rhett for a short time. Actually, after his year at UConn, I accepted the job at Robert Morris, which is my alum, the FCS school in Pittsburgh. I was going to be the tight ends coach, restricted earnings type of role. But on our way out, I think it was maybe a day apart, I told him if there was an opportunity at SMU as a GA, I would really love to do that. So I ended up hitting the road for my alum for a few weeks, recruiting through signing day, and then went to first-year head coach at the time, Bernard Clark, who's still the head coach at Robert Morris. Told him I was taking a job at SMU, and so that was a hard knock on the door. But I couldn't imagine things being different. And since then, I kind of knew I was going to be with him for the foreseeable future.
What's taking over the recruiting coordinator position like with Coach Woods there? You've done it for so long. How much have you picked up from him, and what's working with Alex and Bobby like in that? And what's your role like?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So Casey, Coach Woods has been a fantastic resource in that role specifically. You alluded to his time in the past in that role. I think he 12 years or something as a recruiting coordinator. So I'm going to lean on him heavily in terms of what that looks like. But not a lot of programs are blessed with an Alex Brown and a Bobby Brown. Alex being the director of scouting, Bobby recruiting operations. They're not blessed with those two guys. Those two guys are stars. And so specifically, I just want to be the liaison between Bobby, Alex, our recruiting piece, and our full-time coaches and the rest of our coaching staff. And so it was a fit because I know this place. And through the first official visit, we were in Flux in December, not everyone was here. I was leading tours of campus in terms of being the first face that parents and recruits see and meet. I was that voice. And so I think just working with those guys in terms of recruiting areas and the staff meetings when we're presenting to the rest of the staff, just being a liaison of sort to those guys.